let's bring up our sheriff's deputies, and they can introduce themselves and tell us all about what's happening in Canyon Country.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan Wilson. I am the Zone 7 leader for Canyon Country. I also am in charge of Zone 8 right now for the next couple months. Your old Zone 8 leader, Luis Cabrera, decided to take a spot with the crime intervention team. Crime intervention team. So he's going to be working closely with the detectives. So it's going to be a couple months before you guys get one. But right now I'll be in charge of both 7 and 8. And I brought my partner who's we're working radio car tonight together. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Kraft. I was the former Zone 8 zone leader a few years ago. Currently I'm in charge of the Saugus area, but I'll be helping out Deputy Wilson with Canyon Country. If you guys have any questions, I'm sure we could definitely answer them for you.
So, I mean, Canyon Country, yeah, usually holds a decent amount of crime, but we try our best to mitigate that as much as we can. We've made a lot of good arrests. We have a lot of new teams out here in Canyon Country. We recently, or I'm sorry, not we, but our captain recently added a new car, a no-call car, which handles only observation work. So they're driving around looking for things that are going on. So they're not handling radio calls to different locations. We still have the same amount of deputies out there handling that kind of stuff, but we also added 2, right? 6'3" boy and 6'2" boy, which are 2 new cars for 2 deputies each out driving the streets, just looking for any problems or anything that's going on. Does anyone have any questions or anything?
What sort of things do they find when they're driving around in the car?
They find all kinds of stuff. I don't want to get nitty gritty with it, but you have your. The bigger we get, the more the. Is that me? No. Okay. The bigger we get, the more crime the city's going to have, and that's just the way it's going to work. And we've had recently we had an attempt murder over by Sandy Drive and Sierra Highway. So you're going to start seeing that kind of stuff the bigger you get. But we have a great group of people that work in the sheriff's department. We have a lot of good detectives, and they're all very proactive. And we just do the best we can. You know what I mean? Other than that, they see a lot of drug arrests, theft from vehicles, stuff like that is what we try to look for. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Hi.
Are they going to zone this like LA and have all the surrounding areas and have their own departments, or is it just going to be the sheriff's department here? Because they take too long to get to assaults and things like that happen. They take too long to get there to handle those things. There's not enough deputies to do it.
Yeah, so we're staffed with multiple deputies in each area. So every area like Canyon Country, Saugus, Valencia, we all have deputies that have to stay in their, we call them RDs, the reporting districts. So a typical response time for a priority call or an emergent call is up to 3 minutes on that kind of call. If it's a priority call, it's a 15-minute response time. And a report call would be up to an hour.
How about 4 hours?
You know what, I'd have to look at that, but that's if it's a assault going on, that is definitely not the case. Emergent call is when we roll lights and sirens, and that's not something that we wait on. Mm-hmm. So it depends on what call it is. If someone's being stabbed, beaten, fight going on, that's usually an emergent or priority call, and that takes the priority of every other call that's happening. So
aren't you detectives or whatever, sheriffs, whatever, aren't you concerned about the way they're overbuilding homes up here, because they're making this Los Angeles City?
Well,
that's
unfortunately,
what's happening.
That's not something that we would be able to comment about. We're a contractor through the city of Santa Clarita, and they budget us for a certain amount of deputies per 100,000 people they have. So as the city gets bigger, we will add more deputies to the field.
Yeah, it's a little overcrowded already.
I'm wondering, we've had a lot of crime in our area. Canvas Street, Winterdale, where young people are coming into our area saying that they own our street, and that, I mean, even brandishing a switchblade. And what's happening with that? It's continual. It's a long time now. It makes us feel like we need to really protect ourselves. My husband is in the garage all the time, and a month ago or so, some young man came up the street screaming and yelling, and it was really a bad situation.
I actually had a good conversation with Nadine about this. I don't know what Deputy Cabrera was providing for you guys, but we talked, and I'm going to start sending some extra patrol checks in that area. We're actually working till 11 o'clock tonight. We're going to go over there ourselves after this, as soon as we're done here, and go check it out. Probably stay in the area the rest of the night. So, yeah, extra patrol checks in the area, stuff like that. We're you know, the deputies, the new cars we just contracted through the city.
Yeah, I understand that, but this is even not only happening during the day, it's happening at 3 in the morning, where they are going up and down our street checking the cars and unplugging electric cars that might be plugged in. We've seen all of this, you know, with our No Mercy Hills.
Yeah, we have units that work 24/7. So when I put a patrol check out, it's not for a certain shift. It's for all shifts that are working in this station. So what I do is I direct those units to go in that area, regardless if it's day shift, PMs, or earlies. Day shift being the daytime hours, PM obviously nighttime like this, and early mornings is what we call from 10 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning. So all those units are going to be able to go through there when time permits. When they're not handling their other stuff, when they go in there, they'll check it out, and you know, if they find anything, they'll arrest or at least field identify them so we can have them on record and get license plates, and then they give that to me, and we can work it out and see what's going on. But I am aware of it. Nadine's been in contact with me a lot. Yes.
We are going to have a community center soon, and I do remember for New Hall we had also a deputy which was at the community center all the day long. And are you planning to do that in Canyon Country too?
To be in charge of the community center?
No.
Is that what you're asking me?
No. When we started the community center in New Hall, we had a deputy at the community center all the day long. Are you planning to do that in Canyon Country too?
That's something that's going to be up to the city of Santa Clarita if they want to staff a deputy there. We don't have any say in that, but it's something that we could request, but it's something the city would have to pay for in their budget.
Will it be more secure for the kids? Because it seems like there is Jacques Souhait, there is the other building, I don't remember the name of the building, but it doesn't seem to be so safe. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Well, I'm sure something Alan Furman would probably go and talk to the city council about, but it's definitely something that I think should be there, but I'm not in charge of the contract law here, you know. But I do think it's a good idea to have a deputy there, yes.
I'm going to try to go there, even if I don't drive anymore.
Thank you. I was just interested in gang activity in the area, if you could talk about that.
Yeah, so as you probably read on our social media and some of the news outlets, we do have some gang activity up here, and our captain is very proactive in dealing with the gangs. We recently added multiple patrols during our PM and early morning shifts. We have our Operation Safe Streets Bureau and our GET team, our gang enforcement team, from other stations coming down here just to primarily work on gangs. In the last few weeks, multiple of those detectives come out here and they work a saturation patrol just like we're doing tonight, and all they target is gang members. Last couple weeks, they've gotten guns off the streets, a whole bunch of narcotics, and they are definitely making an impact out here. Along with we do a lot of probation searches. That's definitely stepped up. Probation searches are weekly, if not daily, in some teams. So So we are definitely targeting it, and we're doing our best to make sure that that stops out here in Santa Clarita.
Hi. By the way, thank you for all the work that you good gentlemen do for the community. Quick question. If a person or any member of the community wants a area patrolled or is seeing any like suspicious activity or during hours of the day, would you just call the sheriff's station and be like, you know, can you patrol this during certain hours of the day or
Yeah,
during this
definitely.
time?
So what we would recommend, especially if you guys are seeing something right now, don't email one of us, call the station. We always encourage you to call a station because then it's a record that's on file, and also a tag number is generated. So we look at these tag numbers and we see what's going on in certain areas, and that's how we direct our resources. So we see a lot of calls being on Canvas Street. We're going to definitely direct more attention to that area. If you guys are emailing us a day later or hours later, the problem's already been gone usually. We'd like to know about it now so we can get someone out there. That's why I'd tell the lady over here that had a question about Canvas Street, if you see something, please call us right away. If we're getting notified the next day, you know, they're already gone and we can't do anything about it. So please call us, let us know right when it's happening, and we can address it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have been living off Shangri-La Drive for a lot of years now, and it seems like since we had the house below our house built, there is a lot of people coming from Soledad Canyon going to Nathan Hill Drive to go and get White Canyon or other things in school. And it seems like the people are driving quite fast on Nathan. Have you ever heard about that?
Well, as a zone deputy, we only deal with Part 1 crimes, meaning theft, assault, robbery, stuff like that. That sounds like a traffic issue, which is not. It's not an issue. You can still ask me the question about it, which I would direct you to our traffic office, and they would send. We have a lot of motors out here and a lot of traffic deputies out here. Well, they'll direct those people to go sit on those streets and ticket fast, you know, speeders, stuff like that. You know, so yeah, that's something I could do for you. So Nathan Hill. Okay, by a Shangri-La over there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, another gentleman here had an issue about a traffic issue, so.
That happens to be a problem on Canvas as well. The cars get off for the school, for the college. They get off of the freeway and speed up Canvas, down Linda Vista to get to school. So it is a very big problem.
Yeah.
Speeders. So if you're going to relay that information, maybe you'll relay ours too.
Yeah, Canvas definitely needs some attention. So, well aware of Canvas Street, Nadine.
I have a question.
Yes.
They're building the housing for seniors to live in, the 2 and 3 bedroom ones up here. I know it's in Canyon Country. I don't know exactly where, but seniors don't want to live with other seniors because then we don't have our privacy anymore, and we're all set in our ways. We have to deal with other people and all their little things they don't like, you know. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that I live in a senior complex, and sometimes during the day, these young kids, I don't know if they're criminals activity or what they're trying to do, but they come in and they case the place when the doors are open, like brand new furniture in there for the seniors to use and watch TVs and stuff like that. They come in and they look around and then they leave. And God knows whenever they're ever planning on coming back. The door's locked at night, but during the day it isn't, the front door. But those doors can be left ajar so criminals can come in later. And I'm just concerned because I was just assaulted a week ago by a family member, and it took 3 for the police officer to get there, I think, from what I can remember. But it's real easy for other seniors that live in these buildings that are less fighters than I am. They're not able to fend off somebody. And these people that come in here and wander around and case the joint and then they leave, who knows when they're coming back? And I know I don't live in Canyon Country, I live in Newhall. And our building, one of the apartments, the sliding door was left open because they were remodeling it for somebody to move in there. And they found the next day all beer cans, the windows were broken, all this stuff was going on in the building, and nobody said anything. I didn't hear anything. I was down the hall from there. But they went in there, all these young kids came in there, or whoever, and did that. And it's like, how can they get in the building if it's locked, you know? How can we feel more safe? And I think all the residents want to know that with the activity that's happening to go on up here.
Okay, well, to answer your question, that's a perfect example of calling us when something is suspicious. Like he said, it generates a tag. The deputy has to show up no matter what, even if it takes a long time. He still has to account for everything he did and what he did about it. So that's a perfect example of suspicious activity. Something didn't seem right with you or someone else, and that's what we get paid to do, to come check things out. So don't ever hesitate to call us.
Well, thank you very much, guys. It's a pleasure meeting you, and I'm sure the community is grateful that we have two fine gentlemen like you helping keep us safe.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.